Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Martinez. I'm pursuing a Master's of Education in School Counseling degree. Today, I'm going to discuss uses and gratifications theory as well as cultural intelligence theory, taking time to give a brief overview of these two theories and additionally going into how they can be implemented into our services to students and clients. First, we're going to go over uses and gratifications theory. Here we have a description from the readings, notably media effects theories states that consumers can use media to satisfy specific needs or desires. So researchers use uses and gratifications theory to study the way the public consumes media. In the readings, the example given was Facebook. Exploring why users interact with it can shed light on its role and popularity. Many people use the internet to seek out entertainment, to find information, or to communicate with like-minded individuals. Personally, an example I can give is the NBA Finals that just finished up. My friends and I text reactions throughout the games, not only the finals, but the entire playoffs and plenty of the regular seasons games. This is an example of communicating with like-minded individuals. By examining factors of different groups' media choices, researchers can determine the motivations behind media use. So, what does this mean in an educational setting? One example I was able to find was a study that investigated why university students intended to use mobile learning. This study specifically explored the roles of cognitive, social, and affective needs, and through research provided evidence for including these motivational factors in understanding mobile learning adoption. Now, the article itself took me a few rereads. It's linked, of course, if anybody is interested in reading it, but in short, university students consider user-friendly and simple apps, along with technical support, to be the most crucial factors in determining how much effort uh, users, in this case, university students, put into using mobile learning. Um, Here I have a quote from that study, and it goes, "Motivation can be fostered by engaging students as active participants in independent and autonomous educational process. Developing students' self-regulation skills such as goal setting, adaptability, time management, and self-reflection aligns with the principles of constructivist education." This is Shad and Goktash, 2014. So, as many of us are already in the education space, I'm sure we've all had our fair share of applications being sold to us by guests at professional development or whatever the case may be. And a lot of the times it feels like the last app or data service that was thrown at the wall in hopes of sticking, just repackaged. Because of researchers implementing uses and gratifications theory, maybe, hopefully rather, in the future, these apps and sales pitches can be weeded out and only the truly effective ones can be implemented for students. So next we're going to dive into cultural intelligence theory. Again, here is just a quick description. Cultural intelligence is an individual's ability to recognize and understand, adapt to cross-cultural contexts in order to change his or her self-capacity. So before we can jump into cultural intelligence, we want to understand what culture is. Here, the definition of culture provided by Webster's dictionary. Um, One that really sticks out to me is D. It reads, "The integrated pattern of human knowledge, belief, and behavior that depends upon the capacity for learning and transmitting knowledge to succeeding generations." We want to think traditions, social structures, even physical objects passed down that are part of a group's way of life. And here we have a background provided again by media effects theories readings. Initially, the need to study how successful individuals interacted across cultures was seen, and in efforts to catch up and essentially understand how advancements in technology made um, global communication more accessible than ever. In the readings, it said that the theory is applicable to disciplines of social sciences and management. and specifically addresses the issue of recognizing and managing cultural issues that emerge in our interactions with others. Again, that's a direct quote from the reading. Um, in application for us, the literature is geared towards business management and international affairs, even though in that last slide I mentioned it does include social sciences. Now, I'm of the belief that if it is applicable to social sciences, it's applicable to everything. Social sciences, sociology surrounds us. As we aim to dive into or continue our professions in school counseling or licensed professional counselors, these practices are crucial and applicable to interactions with students and their parents who may be from different cultural backgrounds. Um, an interesting piece that I found from Fresno Pacific University states how these concepts can be adopted in educational settings. An interesting piece I found from Fresno Pacific University is it mentions how these concepts can be adopted in educational settings. Some of these examples were overcoming generalizations and stereotypes, approaching other students with kindness, and emphasizing what students have in common. Where I work now, being so close to the US Mexico border, Mexican culture is so integrated in the culture here that from the outside looking in, it may seem as though they're ubiquitous. But students who travel back and forth due to family circumstances or living situations may feel like they live and go to school worlds away from each other. Ultimately, what it boils down to is, can we successfully interact across various cultural settings or instances where the backgrounds of yourself or and others are not shared? Um, can we level the playing field for students with cultural backgrounds that differ from the majority? I believe that both these theories, when looked at through the lens of a counselor, can contribute to creating equitable spaces for students. And looking forward to being able to answer any questions you may have in the discussion board. Thank you.